It is my pleasure to introduce you all to our next speakers, which I'm going to introduce both of them briefly, and they're both going to speak, and then we'll follow up with questions for both of them afterwards. And they're going to talk about credit cards, credit card fees specifically, and saving money. And who wouldn't want to save money on credit card fees? But in this instance, it's not just about the fees that are in the operations of your business. It's actually even the e-commerce transactions that you have with your subscribers. And so first, I'm going to introduce Aaron Kotarek, who is the Senior Vice President at Oahu Publications. And he's going to actually go through a case study where they saved quite a bit of money in credit card fees. And then he'll transition that over to Sammy Papert, who is an ambassador for Media Global. And he's going to be able to describe another opportunity and way that you can actually save those credit card fees. So we'll dive right in. And at this point, I want to turn it over to, please welcome, Aaron.
Thank you, Nikki. Well, I'm going to preface this presentation just by saying we're all in the same boat here. We all have the same conundrum, and that's globally, every business that swipes credit cards pays exorbitant amounts of interchange fees. And we're all trying to find ways to rid ourselves from these exorbitant fees. And at Oahu Publications, we now have done that through a cash discount program. One of our most trusted business partners that we have worked with for decades, a marketing resource, out of the Twin Cities, came to us and said, we have a cash discount program that we're currently instituting with other retailers and businesses in other spaces to great success. And we would like you to be the beta site for the publishing industry. And obviously we jumped in with 2 feet. We saw the savings that we could take off our books. And you're probably wondering, well, what is a cash discount program? Well, a cash discount program allows our clients, our advertisers, and our subscribers to pay optimal, lesser price points based on their payment type. So for instance, if a customer, a consumer of ours, pays for their goods or services via cash, via check, via money order, ACH, bank draft, they will pay a lesser price point than a consumer who chooses to pay for our goods and services via credit or debit card. Because now, with a credit or debit card, subscribers and clients will now pay a 3.99% service charge on top of what they owe us for using a credit or debit card. So your next question is probably, well, who pays for your interchange fees now? Well, a marketing resource is partnered with C&H Financial, one of the most respected and largest payment processors in the United States. Our program is completely integrated with all of our systems. We use Naviga on the ad and the circulation side. We use OSG billing on our billing side. So I'm going to give you a for instance. Nikki Purcell, you're a subscriber to the Honolulu Star Advertiser, and your invoice for $100. You want to use a credit card, so we accept your credit card. It runs through our cash discount system, through our Naviga system, and through the C&H system. And since you chose to use a credit card, you will see a charge on, let's say, your Visa bill when it comes back for $103.99. That was $100 for the goods and services that you purchased from the Honolulu Star Advertiser, and 3.99% for utilizing a credit card. Our nightly reconcile will come back with your $100 that we will post on your account. C&H Financial will keep the $3.99. And again, on a for instance, Visa charges C&H 2%. That's $2.08, which C&H will pay Visa. They will keep the rest as their margin. Effectively, we have eliminated all of our credit card interchange fees, and that is $1.2 million off of our bottom line. I'm going to skip this slide. I believe all the viewers are going to have access to the slides. So how did we do this? 30 days prior to launch, we had a very extensive marketing and communications program. We were very upfront with all of our clients, our advertisers, our subscribers, letting them know exactly what was going to occur. On the left here, you'll see an example of our invoice. Above the picture of the lady holding the iPad tablet, you can see that we list out full price and a cash discount price. Once again, a full price, meaning if you utilize a credit or debit card, your cash discount price, which is lower if you choose to pay us via cash check, money order, or ACH bank draft. On the right, that's a letter directly from me to all of our subscribers outlining the program, the reasons why we've chosen to go down this route. And at the bottom there, you can see there's a recurring bank draft authorization form where we're showing folks how to avoid a service charge and transition to ACH bank draft. In terms of the ACH bank draft, we actually converted, I believe, 7,000 subscribers to ACH bank draft, and we have 1/5 of all of our subscribers on bank draft at this time. Top left, you can see that's a snapshot of our advertising bill where we have our compliance verbiage and our US patents from the program, details the cash discount pricing, and details what the full pricing is. On the right, you can see that's a snapshot of what our Manage My Account portal looks like on our website, where subscribers can easily log into their account and transition to ACH or pay by credit card if they so choose. Most importantly, we took $1.2 million off our bottom line. Top right, you can see those are snapshots right out of our financials, what we were paying in credit card charges last year and what we're paying now. We're actually paying zero, even though it says 11,000 in February and 5,000 in March. Those are other fees. Those are not interchange fees. Those are fees for lockbox. Those are fees we pay to identify credit cards that are coming up for expire so we can be proactive. So our interchange fees are zero every year. It's recurring. Every year we will pay zero in interchange fees. So it's just a great success story that I'm glad we were able to be the beta site. I look forward to helping other publishers realize these types of savings. A couple other slides here before we get to Sammy. We've also chosen to sell these type of cash discount programs to local SMBs here in our marketplace who are struggling right now with COVID. Their bottom lines have been negatively impacted, and we're helping them alleviate themselves from these credit card fees. What we're doing to create a new revenue stream, for instance, ABC Hardware Store, if we can get them out of the program and they save $10,000 per month in credit card fees, what we're strongly encouraging them, hey, take part of that money, 25%, and reinvest that into the Star Advertiser, into our advertising options to help you and your business. So it's been a great revenue stream for us as well. Sammy, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about what you're doing with Menio Global.
Thank you very much. Hey, Aaron, I appreciate the handoff. And congratulations and job well done. OPI continues to be one of the innovators in the industry, so it's a treat to be on a panel with you. So Menio Global is best described as a broker. Think of your mortgage broker. Everybody is going through refinancing right now, right? Your mortgage broker is trying to get you the best deal possible. He or she is working to save you money, right? That's what Menio Global does. Thanks to a one-of-a-kind contract with the largest processor in the world that can't be duplicated, they literally can provide the lowest merchant processing fees in the business. The reality is they can undercut the processors, which you've heard Aaron talk about, big companies like WorldPay or First Data. They can actually undercut them because of this one-of-a-kind contract. So if you partner with Menio Global, these are the benefits you would enjoy. So let me pull up the next slide. Several things will just kind of duplicate what you learned from Aaron. At the very least, Menio Global will offer 50% savings on the adjustable processing fees you currently are paying. So if today you are paying $100,000 in annual merchant processing fees, next year you would be paying $50,000. Menio Global also has this a cash discount option where you would essentially pass through any of the fees that you are currently paying yourself to the end user, whether it be advertiser or subscriber. There are different requirements. You saw some of the verbiage Aaron used. There are different requirements by state, so it's a little bit more complicated than we want it to be, but you can pass through those fees and save 100%. Give OPI credit. They've saved all of the interchange fees. And these are the interchange fees are the fees that your local bank, whoever your bank is, typically earn. There are 3 fees associated with credit cards: the interchange, the assessment, and the processor fees. But we can, thanks to proprietary software, Minio Global can pass through the interchange fees or eliminate the interchange fees, which are typically untouchable. That's what your local banker says. This is how I earn my money, but those can be reduced dramatically. Additionally, we didn't talk about expiring credit cards. I know that publishers have lamented that challenge. In some cases, they're outsourcing this to third parties to update credit card information. Minio has automatic software that will update credit cards or new credit cards or new expiration dates. So that can be handled automatically. You don't have to worry about it. So indeed, that churn issue is gone. They can even offer a la carte pricing. So let me give you an example. We had one customer who opted for the cash discount option. That particular, it was a standalone business publication, expects to save $40,000 in credit card processing fees this year. They were worried that an account might say, gee whiz, I'm not happy about this. So we don't have to turn that on account, quote unquote. We can do it account by account. We can charge consumer accounts one way or not pass through the fees at all to an advertiser if indeed that was appropriate for you. So an a la carte pricing is an option. And again, you can back off, do it differently, treat different customers in different ways. Next up, we ask for a month-to-month commitment, or Minio Global does. It is easy to, if you find a better deal, it's easy to move on. Just let us know, give us a 1-month notice, and we're glad to help the transition to the next company. Since there are multiple countries and currencies represented on this conference, I thought it helpful to know that Minio could process in 175 countries right now and via 37 currencies. So it is an international company. While we probably are not doing this in most cases in the newspaper space yet, we're also processing in alternate payment methods like Apple Pay or even crypto. In many cases, Minio is providing equipment, either at wholesale or, depending on the type of equipment required, possibly for free. The Minio offers a rate guarantee. We will meet or beat any legitimate offer you receive from someone else. And if we cannot, then again, we will help with the transition to make sure you're in a great position to move on to another carrier, processor, if you so choose. Minio has, this is one of the real beauties of it. They have a very significant customer service team. You don't have to deal with WorldPay directly or First Data directly or any of the big processors. That personalized service is what allows them to have top-rated, AAA rated, Better Business Bureau ratings. You would have access to that as having to go, as opposed to having to go to the traditional processor. You would have Minio as your customer service team. And a couple of last points. I thought it helpful to know what the size Minio is. Most people haven't heard of processors, certainly haven't heard of brokers, right? In calendar year 2019, they processed $90 billion. The company was founded 11 years ago. They work with brands like many of the Hilton brands, Burger King, McDonald's, Hertz Rental Car, and again, many brands that you would recommend and you're probably using. And the last point I would make that I thought of belatedly, so I didn't add it to the slide, is as we've talked to newspapers, because we've talked to a handful of newspapers, there always seems to be a reluctance. There is a worry that this is really a hard deal to do. It's like you or I calling up AT&T and changing to T-Mobile. We just really don't want to go there. Or the last time we changed processors, it was really difficult. So let me just offer a couple of thoughts on that point. Minio does a really extensive analysis before there is processing. Yes, there is paperwork. Yes, there's some basic documentation they need, but they do the heavy lifting. So on the switchover date, it should go seamlessly. Minio is fully integrated with a handful, probably not all, of the systems you presently use, but Braintree, Naviga, Salesforce, et cetera. They have access to 800 programmers. So if an integration issue presents itself, they have the horsepower to make a change occur. And I would say probably lastly, two lastlies, many say, well, gee whiz, I'm in a contract. I have a contract with so-and-so right now. Well, that may very well be the case, but in almost all cases, I've stumbled into a couple, this is not true. The changed contract fee is like $500. I mean, it's really very easy to swap out of a contract. Not for everybody, but most. And then finally, it is absolutely obvious to me that indeed the industry, the newspaper industry, which I've served for 35 years, is paying too much in this category. I've just sent a proposal to a company that will say this is a Midwestern independent group of newspapers, a total of 15 titles. They will say between $50,000 and $283,000 next year. I mean, just significant savings. And then as another example, a independent newspaper in the Great Northeast, they also have interest in retail, will save between $25,000 and $375,000. It's just clear to me that this is a huge opportunity for operators, and that perhaps the processors, the local banks, have enjoyed their relationships with you. So I say it's time for us to either eliminate to the tune of 50% or all the way up to the cash discount option and eliminate 100% of your fees. If ever there was a time to reduce these fees, now is when consumers and advertisers would understand. So with that, I thank you for the time, and nice working with you, Aaron, and I'll lean on you, Nikki.
Right. Thank you, Sammy, and thank you, Aaron, for being with us today. And just a couple questions before we have you take off. But Aaron, I think you threw a lot of math at us, which I want to unpack. But the first math I'm going to throw back at you, if I'm accurate on this, is that it's about 7 a.m. in Hawaii. So big thank you to you for joining us so early, because I know that that's sometimes a challenge. We have a global audience here on a lot of different time zones. So one of the questions that came in around, shifting really from credit card to the ACH transition is the question around how newspapers have historically done grace periods, and how that shift sometimes can have an impact on the actual payment processing or prolong when they expire. As you guys transition that, Aaron, can you share with us what you saw in that space specifically?
Really no change, because once a credit card is processed, that night we're receiving that reconciliation back from C&H Financial, our payment processor, and that is going right into our system. So there has been no change with our grace period or our grace expenses. Everything was seamless, and it's just one of the many reasons why we chose to go down this route and execute this program.
Okay, what about recurring payments, right? Obviously, we have a lot of customers who are on that, and the credit cards are super easy for that. And the ACH, I would assume, is the same, but I don't know how automated that is. So that's a question we have, is if it impacted recurring payments at all.
No, we want as many subscribers on recurring payments as possible, even if that's credit or debit card. Obviously, we would prefer to have folks on bank draft ACH. The best part of bank draft ACH is bank accounts do not expire. Credit cards and debit cards expire. Bank accounts do not. Therefore, procrastination works in your favor. Everyone always says they're going to cancel Netflix, and everyone always says I'm going to cancel the local newspaper, but they never do, because they're on recurring payments.
Right. So does it take longer to process through bank accounts? We're thinking that had a little bit longer time period on it. And obviously there's cash value with money there.
Well, we have 3 batches that we do every month. We do deductions on the 1st, the 5th, and the 20th, and it's the same every month, and it's seamless. So there's been really no change to the timing of our processes.
Okay, great. Another question came in, and maybe this makes more sense to you, so I'm just going to kind of read it as is. How do you handle NSF on bank drafts?
No change on that. No change on that either. If there was an NSF, obviously we're gonna get the notification from the bank. We're gonna call the subscriber, let them know what occurred, collect payment via another method. Don't really have that many NSF. We have more credit card expirations and declines for sure, but NSF has not been a problem for us whatsoever.
Okay, well, it looked like from the letter that you shared with us, which was an important part of this, which was the communication, right, to the subscribers of how this would change. Looked like that was dated October 2020, if I saw that correctly. When did you actually kick off the program? And are we just about 2 quarters in?
We kicked off the program 1/1 of this year.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we are, 4 or 5 months into the program, and it's been very successful. Like I said, $1.2 million off our books in one fell swoop. So let me just put that in perspective. If you were to net $1.2 million on the revenue generation side, you would have to find a $6 million gross revenue generating program at a 20% margin to net $1.2 million. How many $6 million revenue generating programs do you think are out there, folks? Not that many. So $1.2 million off our bottom line was a huge coup for our company. No doubt about it.
Well, and I think anyone would agree it would be a huge opportunity for anyone's company. And as Sammy said, we've probably been paying these fees more than any of us would like to admit for far too long. So any new options are really of interest. And one of the things that I have always been impressed with, Aaron, in our history and where our paths have crossed is that you guys have found an opportunity to take something that's been successful for you and then also take it to the market and learn where else you can have, positive impact for others. So just curious, when you guys take, this and try to offer it to others, what does the format of that look like? You talked about them saving money and reinvesting back in their business, but are you managing the communication for them, the actual program itself? Like what piece of that are you packaging and taking to them?
You mean other publishers?
Yeah.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. We're a very entrepreneurial spirited company. We're very innovative. We want to help ourselves first and foremost. But, I'm not a vendor or a business partner. And for the vendors and business partners on this call, don't take offense to that. But, I have a lot of friends and colleagues in this industry that I want to help. And they've helped me over the years. So when we have a successful initiative like this, we definitely want to share that with our peer group. And I think we're late to the game. And I think Sammy would agree with this. In the publishing space, we're late to the game on these types of cash discount initiatives, but we're not too late. It's not too late to implement it, especially in these COVID times where I know most of our bottom lines have been negatively impacted. And there's just absolutely no reason one wouldn't execute this strategy, in my opinion.
Great. Well, as I said, when I kicked this off, I definitely think that there's a lot of interest in this area and everyone wants to be able to find opportunities to save money. So I appreciate both of you coming on today, sharing with us the programs, but also being very transparent with the savings and the actual numbers. I think that's an important part to back what it is that you're experiencing, and being that vulnerable and sharing this with us has been really, really helpful to our audience today. So thank you both.